Our first challenge that we are going to come to now is a European Green Deal. Now, we are going to have an introductory talk to tell us a bit about each of our sections, each of our competitions, and each of our teams' aspirations for what they've been attempting to do in each of the challenges. We're also going to allow you to ask a question or two of our teams. You can use Slido for that. Just if you go to slido.com, you can put in the hashtag EU Datathon. If you're following us streaming online, of course, that box is there to the right of your screen, so make sure you do that. But to give us our introduction to the European Green Deal Challenge, we please welcome Angela Morelli from Info Design Lab. Angela, I think we're having a slight technical problem in getting Angela. We are going to see if we can connect once again. If we can't get Angela, I think what we'll do is we'll begin straight away with the first teams, and then perhaps we'll come back and have a discussion on what the aims were, because I think we don't want to delay those excellent teams any longer. So thank you, Angela. We will come back to you when we can. But first, let's hear from our first team for this European Green Deal Challenge. All the teams in this challenge have been working towards the aims of building a more sustainable, more renewable and greener future. We know about all sorts of net zero targets that have been set up. It's a really high agenda point for the European Commission and the European Union as a whole. So I think we'll hear from our first team now, which is CROZ renEUwable. Have we a quick video to show us what they've been working on?
Over 70% of Europeans' energy needs are met by fossil fuels, and the need to switch to renewables is becoming more urgent. Even though EU has been battling these problems for years, challenges still exist. All of the problems previously mentioned are combined in energy poverty, which is something we started to think about a year ago. Every citizen can switch to renewables and make energy-efficient decisions, but many don't know where to start and is it even beneficial. We want to use our skills, technology and available open data to resolve community issues. We love environment, solving problems, open source technologies and working with data. Green Deal Challenge presented an ideal facilitator which united all the things we are enthusiastic about. Our goal is to deliver the application that recommends to citizens what actions to take and creates personalized roadmaps, making their lives less worrying about energy spending.
Every EU citizen should have the opportunity
to switch to renewable energy sources
and sustainability in everyday life.
Do it with the renEUwable app.
Good morning, everyone. You look at Plitvice. You look at Plitvice Lake, this national park in Croatia. So we all agree that this is a beautiful nature, clean water, and pure nature. So we want to recognize this because of there is huge fossil fuel and renewable sources consumption. That ratio we need to change. We must react somehow. So likely renewable energy sources is growing, and we have great expectation to move forward. So today we are here to present our idea, which mostly focuses on change human behaviors and how we will improve it. And also we try to break more than 80 barriers according to Renewable Energy Sources Monitor database. Our unique solution will help EU citizens to switch to renewable energy sources depending of for example, micro-location, create personalized roadmap, build a suggestion and connect to third parties such as a local government institution, and different kind of solution providers. Our platform is built like for data-driven platform. So we have two parts. One is that mobile apps that is used for EU citizen, and a portal that is mostly used to third party. Both components directly interact in open data registries such as Data Europe and EU. So now we'll show you how we will done through our high fidelity prototype through Jane.
Thank you, Darko. Let's meet Jane. Jane is our ideal customer. She's angry about environmental issues, but she wants to make a change. However, she's not exactly sure how, and she needs a bit of help. Now meet Mr. Green, our app's spokesperson and Jane's guide. Jane's journey begins when she chooses a location. That information, with the information on her goals, her level of engagement, and the seasons in which she uses her residence, are a base for creating a roadmap. But before that, our location advisor kicks in. It gives Jane recommendations on renewable sources which can be used on that location. These choices are based on various climate and energy data. We can also prepare recommendations on things like profitability and usage if Jane provides us with some additional information, such as current energy consumption and costs. Finally, Jane is presented with a roadmap. A roadmap is a set of tasks. These tasks vary in complexity, from very trivial ones to more complex ones. Jane can additionally order and customize these tasks to fully accommodate her preferences. Throughout her journey, Mr. Green will keep reminding Jane of these tasks through notifications. Some notifications will focus entirely on education and give Jane additional information on various green subjects. He will also remind her to give additional information if she wants even more personalized recommendations, of course, if she didn't do so in the beginning. Whenever Jane wants to check her progress, she can always rely on a personal dashboard. A combination of visual charts and storytelling tidbits give her a brief and clear overview. She will also get a monthly report prepared by Mr. Green with highlights of her progress from the previous month. If you notice in this report, Mr. Green doesn't look very happy, and that's because we can also track various sentiments based on Jane's interactions. For example, if Jane becomes a bit lazy, Mr. Green will take notice. But don't worry, Mr. Green will also keep motivating Jane to do better. He will keep sending encouragement messages throughout her journey. In the end, we of course want Jane to succeed and fill out all her roadmap goals. The end of one roadmap is not the end of the entire journey. There can always be improvements. Besides Jane and other individual users, we have also been thinking of various third parties, EU institutions, government agencies, energy suppliers, whoever might be interested in the data we are collecting. For them, we have created a data portal, a number of different dashboards which contain summarized data. We'll also make sure these datasets are available for download, and in time we hope to integrate that with the European data portal. To recap briefly, our platform consists of several modules. These modules are powered by AI technologies and provide personalized experience for every user. Now, Darko will tell you a bit more on the datasets we're using and data profiling.
Thank you, Marina. We are building data-driven platforms which recognize three types of the data. One is open data, which we are mostly used for motivated people through the storytelling. Another part data is that we are collect through our application that has a lot of events and track the user activities. Third one is that is aggregate data that we are prepared for third party that were mentioned. On the right side, we are prepare list of data sets that we are used from open data portal. So we mentioned also that is data driven, which means that is a required high quality of data. So before we start development, first what we have done is the data profile. So according to our data profiling report, it indicates that that is strong impact on social, environment, and economical area. Besides this, we also think about data quality KPIs. So we are look all data that we are trying to use from open data, and it looks very promising for us. Now, at the moment, our platform is in prototype phase, but we plan to release beta release in the next year. So if you look this nice picture, I will say that something that you want to take for months, do it and be the drop in a waterfall of changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I've been to that waterfall myself. I'm not surprised it inspired you. We have a couple of questions from our audience. One is asking, what percentage of EU citizens do you expect to be the ideal Jane-type customer?
We have defined our target user segment, and our ideal customer or our ideal user would be the citizen in their prime years, educated citizen with interest in environmental issues and with some degree of awareness on sustainability, carbon footprint, and issues like renewable solutions and similar to that.
We also have a question from one of our jury members as well, asking, does the app take into account personal data to build up recommendations? For example, location, age, or transport used. And I'll add for myself, how would you anonymize that if you were passing it on to third parties?
So at the beginning of our application, as you saw in presentation, the user inputs his parameters. So we present to him a questionnaire. You only saw the one question on a presentation slide, like how much area do you have for solar power system. But also there will be questions like what is your average energy consumption? Are you living in a household or a condominium? How much household members are there? And we combine that data with location data. We gather that data from open data to then get these recommendations and represent them to the user.
And have you established the data quality KPIs?
Data quality, we have a few dimensions like that you already saw on slides, like consistency of the data, timeliness of the data, how complete is the data. So we first analyzed thoroughly that data, and we created something like a questionnaire where we graded those dimensions. So for example, completeness of the data, how much data we have, how much data is not missing based on how much, what is the scope of the whole data.
And finally then, presumably you've tested out the app yourselves. Has your behavior changed when you were using it?
Yes, we want to educate our users, and we prepared the list of tips and tricks for their everyday life. And I can say, at least for myself, that lately I often caught myself implementing these tips and tricks, like saving water while brushing the teeth. And so.
Okay, thank you very much, Team CROZ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we didn't get our introductory speech there right at the beginning, but I think we can go to